Okay, many people ask me how to do just a basic everyday work look. So that's what we're going to create here. And the main thing you want to do is, make sure your brows are pretty much on point and use concealer if needed on your dark spots or blemishes if you have any. So with that being said, if you can do that, then that's pretty much going to give you a basic look, because not everybody wears makeup. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm not working with my kit, so we're just using what she owns so I can show her how to do her makeup on a daily basis. So stay tuned. Okay, I have already kind of shaped her brows a little bit. We had like a razor that didn't quite work right, but I cleaned them up a little bit here just to give them a little bit of shape. And then I'm going to use this pencil that she has and we're going to fill it in. So before I begin to apply it, I want to see what color this is coming out, just to see, so I know how light to make my strokes or if I want to make them darker. This is pretty dark, so I'm just going to lightly, bear with me because the lighting isn't the best, and I don't have a professional camera. So I'm just going to make very light strokes just to kind of fill in her natural brow. Now they have different pencils that are amazing to use, but we're just working with this one that we picked up out of the beauty supply store, and it's going to work just as good. So, and that gives it a little bit of shape, and I'll show you how to clean this up in a minute. Okay, and one more thing that I like to add is you want to take like a spoolie or whatever you may have. Some people may have a brush like this. Just use whatever you have, because 9 times out of 10, if you don't wear a lot of makeup, you're not going to go out and purchase different things. So you'll take just a spoolie, and even if you have the disposable mascara wands, or if you pick some up, and just kind of blend out any little harsh lines on your brow. Just so that way, you kind of make it neat. And you have to remember that your eyebrows are not twins. If they are fraternal, but not even that. They're more like sisters or cousins. A lot of women, men too, our eyebrows, grow different on each brow. One may be arched a little higher than the other. But we can perfect it with concealer. So I'm going to use this concealer to help shape and carve out her brows. And then I'm going to use the same concealer on her dark spots, because this is what we have. Okay. So I don't want nobody judging. This is what we have. And this is LA Girl Pro Concealer, and it is in Chestnut. So that's what we're going to use. So stay tuned. Okay. I've already applied concealer under here to try to kind of carve out her brow. I don't have any of my brushes or anything like that. So we're working with what we have, which is just the brush to the applicator of the concealer. And this was what came out, because when you open a new one, you want to squeeze it first on like a paper towel or something, because the oil or clear, it's like an oil mixture. It's going to come out first. So this is what came out on top. I'm going to use that just to cover her blemishes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my finger. It is clean. I wash my hands, and I'm just going to blend this down and blend this out, because nothing pretty much can blend as good as your fingers sometimes. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit here just as a base for any shadow, a nude shadow that you can apply, or whatever color you choose to apply on a daily basis. And it's just as simple as that. You want to And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other brow. And again, like I said, we're using what we have because I just want to show her, you know, how to do a simple makeup look on a daily basis, you know, for her to go to work or just, you know, to run to the store or on a day out or even a night, depending on the type of makeup girl you are. But you just want to make sure that you blend this out very good. And that's that. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, I've completed that. I'm sorry I'm not recording the whole process. Like I said, I don't have a camera, so I'm just doing it little by little just to give you an idea. So I'm going to take what's left on the back of my hand, and like I said, not the brown stuff, but the concealer right here. And I'm going to apply some on her blemishes. She has one on her nose. And you always want to use a primer prior. We didn't have a primer, but we did use moisturizer. But you want to have a primer so that way it allows your makeup to stay on and to just blend in perfect or great with your skin. But we didn't have any today, so we're just using what we have again, like I said. So, around the mouth. And it never really takes much for her anyway. She's not a heavy foundation girl. Turn this way some more. A little bit just blends perfectly with her skin. And 1 second, let me grab my sponge. I do have one of those. I did have a wedge in my bag where I keep my hair things. So I'm going to use this wedge. I've already wet it a little. And what you can do is kind of like take your finger just to kind of warm it up a little bit and begin blending it a little bit. Look up for me. Because I don't have a brush, like I said, so I don't want anybody judging. This is just quick. And then around the mouth, I try not to definitely use my fingers. So we're just going to blend that on out. And you want to just dab it into the skin. I'm going to add a little bit more here. Make sure I test it in the back of my hand. And this is hers, so I can just use this like this on her. And we're just going to add a little bit more just for a little bit more coverage. And then we're going to blend this on out. We're just going to blend this on out like we would do any foundation, because that's basically all concealer is. It just depends on the consistency of it. And she has very smooth skin, so you want to blend it down to the neck. And we will set it with powder. She does have a translucent powder, but it does have some color to it. So hopefully it won't give off any kind of cast. And we're just going to blend this out. So stay tuned. Okay, now we've blended all the concealer and we've just added a little more throughout the whole face for basically just a foundation look, because we didn't have foundation, but it's the same thing. Now her face appears very flat because we have basically blended out or muted out any blemish as best as we could. So this is where powders and blushes and things come into play. And if you stay tuned, you'll see how we're going to do that. Let me see. Okay, sorry the lighting isn't that good, but this is the translucent powder we're going to apply. It's in dark. I think this is Nika K. Yep, Nika K New York Cosmetics. I've already opened it. I'm going to just put a little bit in the cap, and we're using what we have. So I'm going to take this because I'm not sure how this color is going to be. And I'm just going to, let me try it right here first. Press it into the skin. Oh, okay. Just to set what we applied in with the concealer / foundation for the day. So you want to set around the eyes and blend it out. I don't have a brush, so I'm just going to do the best that I can with what I have. And we did have some, she did have some shadow, but can't find it. So we're going to improvise today. And bear with me. So I'm going to finish patting all this in, and then I'm going to show you the eyes, okay? Okay, like I said, she did have some eyeshadow, some nudes and browns that I was going to use for contouring, but she could not find it. So I'm going to use this pencil of mine that I had with me, and it's just a regular eye pencil in brown, and I'm going to improvise, try something a little different. So if you would suck your cheek in a little bit for me, just right up underneath the cheekbone. We just want to bring some color to her face lightly. Can you see that? And I'm going to do the same with this side, and then I'm going to blend it out, okay? Right underneath the cheekbone. And then we're going to do the nose. Just lightly take. And I don't know if you can see that with this lighting. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to blend this out. Just the illusion of a shadow. Just blend that out. I'm going to go on this side. And we're just going to blend that out. And I'm going to add a little bit more. You got to get it?
Who is it?
The number 416-813-416. And we're just going to blend that out. Just to help her face from not being so flat. See, you kind of see that cheekbone popping a little bit where I can. And I put a little bit because, like I said, I didn't know how this was going to be. I've never had to use a pencil for. I'm going to also do down here just to kind of give some depth to the face. You want to use too much down here because you don't want to make it look like you have a beard.
Yes, because I don't have any facial hair. So, let's not try to do that.
So I'm going to keep working on that. I'll be right back. Okay, this is a white Nika K liner that I have with me. I'm going to just apply this just a little bit. See if I can get it out here. To her lids. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to improvise, ladies. Many of you already know about this little trick. But this is just stuff you could do with things that you already own. Because not everybody has eyeshadows and pencils and brushes and so forth. But a lot of women have the basics. So I'm just going to blend that out with my finger just as an extra base. And then I'm going to take, because like I said, we don't have eyeshadow. I'm going to take this pencil here. It's a pink. Just to add a little bit of color to her eye. Hold on, let me sharpen it. Okay, we're back. I'm going to take this just to give a little bit of color on the eye. And I'm going to take my finger again, because we don't have any brushes. And I'm just going to blend that out just to give a pop of color on the lid. Just blend that out. Okay, sorry about my gum chewing. You guys, I'm hungry. Then I'm going to take this brown pencil again that I have, just to carve out a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to just play with it to just carve out like a bit of a crease, because she has small eyes. Sorry if it's not perfect enough for you guys, but we're just doing a little something. Okay, after that is done, these are her mascaras. We have two. I'm going to take this liner here that I used on her brows again, because we don't have a black. And we're just going to deepen this right here. And you want to stretch it. It's not going to give it a very dark line, but I can see that. Let's bring it in closer. And that's what you can do. And you can just do the same thing for this side over here. Okay. Okay, you can open your eye. Just to give her a little bit of something going on there. Okay. Also, what you can do, she has, I know she had another one here. Okay. She has a glossy, like shimmery, what do you call this? Lip gloss. Lord, forgive me. I'm going to put a little bit right here on the back of my hand. You see that? And I'm going to take that, because you can improvise, and I'm going to put that right in this corner. Probably can't really see it with this camera, but in the light, it'll just give off a little illuminating. See, I can see it, yeah. Glittery. Really look in this corner. You can extend it out a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it over the lid. Okay. Now look up for me. I'm gonna take the back end of this and just do that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take that brown I had again, and I'm just gonna go under the eye just to kind of deepen, to outline her eyes. Okay. So ladies, you can use what you have. Or let's just say you want to be, get cute and you forget your makeup kit or so forth at home. This is just something you could do. Okay, now to be a little bit more creamy, so I'm going to use the brown one first to apply one coat. Look up for me. Your eyes watering up. Oh, my stomach is growling. And then I'm going to take the black. And I don't know what brand this is, but CoverGirl. And I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, look up for me first. Okay, look down. About halfway. Just leave your brow and I'll lift. I'll do the lifting. And she has a nice little length to her lashes. So very nice length to your lashes. So okay, now look all the way up and don't try not to move. I'm just gonna bring some down here at the bottom. And I'm gonna do the same thing to this other side. And this is a large wand. Okay, then she's creasing up a little bit under the eye. So I'm just take a little powder and press under the eye. But be careful because a lot of times the mascara will transfer. So we're going to work on lips. Now onto the lips. So she has this pretty pink color by Revlon. It is called Hot Tropical. Wait. I think that says tropical. Hot Tropical. I don't know if you guys can see that. It ain't gonna get it. But this is how it looks. And then I'm going to apply probably a little bit of this gloss or either this one here. So we don't have, you can use a liner, but we're just gonna wing it and we're gonna stretch your lips for me. And we're just gonna use what we have. I normally don't like to match pink with pink, pink on the eye, pink with the lips, but there's no rule to makeup. It's what you like, what you want. Maybe for some people there is, but not in my world. Just to give a little color. And like I said, if you want your lips to look fuller, or if one side of your lip or your bow on your lip is not, as pronounced as you want, you can use liner. I normally use liner, but we didn't have any to use. I could use brown, but I didn't want to have to do that and then try to do all that blending. So go like this. Okay. And I'm going to just add, it's pretty glossy enough, but I think I'm going to just add just a tad of gloss just to blend out any little lines. And last step, I want her to have some type of color on her lip, on her cheeks. So there's this red lip color here. I'm going to dab a little bit on the back of my arm. I'm going to take my finger and just do like that till I get it very mute smile. And I'm just going to take my finger and just dab it into the cheek. And my lighting isn't good. The camera isn't the best. So we're going to use what we have. And then if you get a little too much, you just want to take a little sponge and go over it. But that's just a quick little day-to-day makeup look. And I'm going to go under this eye again, because I think when I put that powder is removing I'm going to use a different finger. That powder is removing some of the foundation. Look up for me. So let me go over this and I'll be back.